Huntingburg City Council approves a resolution to designate the city's downtown area for revitalization. The Southwest School Board meets and discusses teacher meetings. And State Representative Mark Messmer stops in to discuss action at the State House in WJTS Inform. These stories and more coming up in 18 WJTS News. This is the WJTS News. I'm Bill Potter. Thanks for tuning in. Thursday night, the Huntingburg City Council approved a resolution to designate the city's downtown area for revitalization in order to pursue a grant through the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. To help with the effort, Lisa Galehausen with Indiana 15 Regional Planning brought the resolution before the council, which targets a stretch of 4th Street from Van Buren Street to Geiger. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner says the city will be using edit funds to pay the city's portion of the application in order to secure a grant of about $40,000. Spinner says the funds of which would be used to hire a firm to develop a plan for revitalization of the downtown Huntingburg area.
Basically the 4th Street area from Van Buren to Geiger. And what this designation does is it puts us in line to apply for some grant money to develop a downtown revitalization plan. We'll be using edit funds to pay our portion of that application fund, but it will give us a grant in an amount of about $40,000 to hire a firm to look into what the downtown revitalization needs are. And one of the major factors on that is the fact that we have a water line along 4th Street that is one of the older water lines in our community. And we want to make sure that the infrastructure in our downtown is sound and in place before we start doing any other kind of renovation, be it repaving or any other facade work. Infrastructure is the key to have that sound and secure, and this plan will allow us to study that and also come up with other usage plans, be it for vacant buildings or for second-story residential work. Come up with a real plan to help us give us a target to do some significant work in our downtown.
Mayor Spinner says the city hopes to come up with other usage plans for structures such as vacant buildings and second-story residences. He says the city wants to develop a plan in order to make significant improvements to the city's downtown area. Also Thursday night, the Huntingburg City Council approved an ordinance to create a city tree committee. The City Tree Committee was recommended to city officials after a recent visit from an Indiana State urban forester to study safety and other issues with trees that line 4th Street in Huntingburg's downtown area. Spinner says trees along that stretch of 4th Street in Huntingburg have been an issue that has come up in recent months, from trimming branches to tree removal.
We've had a lot of discussion and concern over what is the proper way to care for, and also to make a transition in how the trees are placed and cared for on 4th Street. This tree committee will have the responsibility of developing a plan, a process by which that happens. It came as a recommendation from the state urban forester who visited Huntingburg late last year, did a complete study of the 4th Street tree population, and came back with some very good recommendations on how to move forward. And this tree committee is one of those recommendations.
The committee will consist of 5 members appointed by Spinner and members of the City Council. Spinner says their objective will be to develop a plan for care and use of trees in the future and brought before the council for approval. And if you would like to, you can tune in to WJTS on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. for the full broadcast of the Huntingburg City Council meeting this past Thursday. And Huntingburg was a hoppin' place Thursday night as the Southwest School Board also met in regular session. Members of the Southwest Du Bois School Board heard from principals from all 4 of the corporation schools about teacher meetings conducted before school. The reports came in a response to a proposal at last month's meeting by board member Michael Broker, with support from board member Chris New to limit morning meetings to once a week. Broker relayed to the board complaints he had heard from several parents about students being unable to meet with teachers to help with schoolwork due to these morning meetings. Principals rallied around the same point in that professional development accomplished at the morning meetings is needed to improve students' instruction. All principals reiterated in their reports that students are a priority and meetings can be interrupted if a student is in need of help in the morning prior to class. Elementary school teachers meet an average, that is, of 4 times a week before school, while those at the middle and high school meet about twice a week. Each school principal noted that not only are the meetings include every member of the faculty at the same time. Southwest Board President Kevin Wertman said board members still have mixed feelings on what is necessary.
It was nice to see that they came in and brought their schedules and stuff like that. It helps clarify things, obviously. I think you're still going to have disagreement on what's too much and what's not enough and things like that, but you got 5 members, you're going to have 5 opinions. It's basically the way it is. But what we are doing is working, so that has to be considered. Let us do what we do. I mean, the reality of it is that's what they're saying, is let us do what we do. We try to put the students first, no matter what. And I understand having too many meetings too. It does get monotonous, but if it's working, it's working.
And in other business last night, the Southwest School Board approved an additional stipend of $15,000 to architectural firm Fanning & Howey for the completion of the renovation project at Southridge High School. Recently, work at the school had been delayed for weather and other unforeseen issues. Fanning & Howey's contract had expired November of last year, but the company has continued renovation work at the school through the months of December and January without pay from the school corporation. Southwest Du Bois School Superintendent Terry Inlow says work on the project has been progressing greatly. He expects most work to be completed by mid-April, just as Inlow is about to retire as corporation superintendent.
Students into the science labs and classrooms, so all the students are in the classroom. We still need to complete the transition building, and that just has, like I said, floor being finished, indoor track being finished, a weight cage. That's pretty much it. All kids, with maybe exception, we're waiting on some band furniture for the band room to be occupied, but all the other students are in the classrooms.
Inlow says there will likely be ongoing little things to finish as the project wraps up. A dedication is planned for April 14th. The renovation project at Southridge High School is the first of its kind since the building was constructed in 1972. Also last night, the Southwest Du Bois School Board recognized its Students of the Month for February. Students honored include Holland Elementary 3rd grader Luke Trout, Adolfo Gomez, a grade 5 student from Huntingburg Elementary School, and 7th grader Kayla Mundy from Southridge Middle School and senior Victoria Schaefer from Southridge High School. The board also recognized Southridge High School senior Jamie Lindauer as January's Student of the Month. The Du Bois County Community Foundation recognizes the loss what the foundation calls a dear friend. Emeritus board member Sue Hubster of Holland passed away this past Monday. Hubster was a 9-year member of the Board of Directors, serving most recently as Vice President for the merged Du Bois County Community Foundation. She was named an Emeritus Board member by the Board this past January. Hubster's legacy, however, is her role in evolving the grant-making program for the Community Foundation from reactive, smaller grants to more proactive and catalytic funding partnerships with area nonprofits. Hubster was named chairperson for the Grants Committee at the former Huntingburg Foundation in 2009. During her tenure, the foundation launched the Artworks Initiative, a progressive grants strategy to increase participation and appreciation for the arts in Southwest Du Bois County. The initiative culminated in a $24,000 investment in grants to local nonprofits. The final segment of the Artworks Initiative focuses on the arts through a cultural lens. Hubster was instrumental in the selection of the American Latin Association of Southern Indiana to receive the final $8,000 grant to be detailed in the coming days. Indiana's state climatologist says plentiful January rains have left the state's farmland in good shape for crops following last summer's record heat and drought. Purdue University-based state climatologist Dave Nayigu says forecasts call for a warm and wet start to Indiana's planting season before drier conditions arrive during the growing season. He says parts of Indiana could see mild to moderate drought conditions later in the growing season. Mild to moderate droughts are not unusual at some point in Indiana during the hottest summer months. The extreme drought in Indiana and parts of the Midwest saw last summer happen only 2 or 3 times every century, and back-to-back droughts are rare. WJTS News will continue in a moment. Thanks for watching.